drinks trolley, always very welcome round about this time. What have you selected from the trolley as it whizzed past?
As it whizzed past, well, I've taken inspiration from Jess earlier, and let's go with a nice large glass of Sauvignon Blanc, because I think that's very nice.
That's right, that's what I think she'd had a couple too many, though.
Yeah, well, yeah.
By her own admission. Today's confession comes from Tom and Gemma, but mainly Tom. Rated PG for injury and nudity.
Ooh, really?
Oh no!
I think, but it's still upstanding and decent. Father Simon and his collective bunch. I am seeking forgiveness. Now, this is Tom speaking here, as it has been years since my last confession. Actually, it was with you back in your other radio days. It started off with my wife having to see a surgeon about the problem she was having with her gallbladder due to stones in it.
Oh.
We sat in the room waiting for the surgeon to enter, and as she was in a lot of pain, I was very anxious about her health, so was a bit touchy, I guess you could say. If you've ever seen anyone in pain with gallstones, you will know exactly what I mean. See Antonio Conte for details.
Okay.
If anyone would want more details about stones in your gallbladder.
Oh, okay.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
Anyway, we waited, and then the surgeon entered the room. Sir Jeremy Buffton Tufton.
Of course.
The nurse seemed to bow to him as soon as he entered, so he guessed he was someone high up. I stretched out my arm to greet him with a handshake and a jolly hello. He totally ignored me.
Oh.
He was, Father Simon, the living embodiment of everything that you've heard about arrogant, aloof, infuriating, cocky, call-me God consultants.
Wow.
Also snooty, ego-driven, arrogant and vain. And yes, I worked all this out in a matter of seconds. He spoke to my wife. He asked her on a scale of 1 to 10 to describe the pain. Her reply made me laugh, actually. She said, "It flipping hurts," or words to that effect. That set the tone for the rest of the consultation. He was a cold fish, Father Simon. He wouldn't know a bedside manner or sense of empathy if it hit him about the head, which is what I wanted to do. Perfunctory and rude, he continued in his imperious display of pompous, domineering behaviour. My blood was boiling. Now, my wife had had robotic surgery a few years before on her kidney. So this surgeon wanted to see where the keyhole marks were before he operated on her to decide the best course of action. At this point, it was suggested she remove some items of clothing, resulting in what I believe film people call upper body nudity.
Okay.
I sat like a told-off schoolboy in the corner of the room. I looked on in silence. Pathetic, I know, but also just not good enough. I knew his sort. I'd met them at school, and I'd had enough. And this is the bit where I'm asking for forgiveness, please. I asked him if I should leave the room. He looked over the top of his glasses and said in an imperious voice, "Are you talking about? Don't be so ridiculous, you silly man."
Bally.
I looked at my wife
Amazing.
and then him, and I said in a meek and embarrassed manner, "Well, all right then." And I paused. And then I said, "You do know I'm only her taxi driver, mate, don't you?" Well, you could cut the air with a scalpel. His jaw dropped open, speechless. The nurse mouthed, "OMG." Seconds of complete silence and utter horror followed. Because my wife understood my sense of humour, she played along. "Yeah, he just picked me up. I think I'll give him a decent tip. What do you think, Doc?" He spluttered something under his breath and looked away from me to carry on examining my wife. We never let on that I was actually her husband, and to this day he has no idea and presumably still thinks that I was her taxi driver. Ha ha. Anyway, please, if you could forgive me and my wife for not confessing to Sir Jeremy Buffton Tufton before, but he was a stuck-up, sniffy, conceited little toe rag.
Wow.
Really? Was he really?
Yeah. Thank you, Tom. And also Gemma, grovelling for forgiveness, or maybe not.
No, I don't think so.
In this case, Sister Susie from the pub.
Well, Tommy, you really didn't like that doctor, did you? But I feel for you, and I feel for your wife on the pain front as well, because that is not fun. However, there was no malice in it. It was a bit of fun. I love that your wife played along. That's excellent, and very quick timing there. So I'm in a forgiving mood. So I think I'm going to forgive Tom and Gemma.
Nice. What do you say?
Well, I'm obviously going to forgive, and here's the reason why: is the consultant comes in and says, on a scale of 1 to 10, how painful is it? And is it likely I'm going to say 1? I wouldn't be if it didn't matter. If I'm not not in that much pain, I'm not going to be in this office, am I? So I'm definitely going to forgive, because he is arrogant and aloof and all the other things that you called him. And yes, definitely forgiven.